now that the keys are all glued, and again we favored one side, so we have much less work. We've got it flush there, maybe ever so slightly over, which is exactly what we want. We want to avoid at all costs being slightly under and having a reveal of wood. That would be grounds to basically start all over. But this is perfect. So now what we have is we have all of this overhang got here. This we're going to get with a different router, but the purpose of this video is just to show you how to rough cut here, and then we're going to rough cut down there. Okay, so this router takes a little bit of skill, I guess, a little bit of attention. We've got a roller here. You have to pay attention to where the roller goes over. On some keys, for example, you have little lead weights that cause a little indent. Do we have one with lead on it? There it is. Perfect. Thank you. That's a perfect example. So if you're going along smoothly on this, and then suddenly there's the indent, the roller is going to follow that. So you have to be very, very careful. Thank you. Whereas this is just a straight edge all the way across. That's going to be nice and easy. The only thing that I would caution someone about is just to make sure that the angle of the key is straight up and down, because there again, it doesn't matter if the roller is following a straight edge if the angle is in like this. Obviously that's a huge exaggeration, but you can imagine the roller is going to follow this straight edge, but the blade down there is going to cut too far, and you want it just perfectly flush. Okay. So yeah, so keep it straight up and down and air maybe ever so slightly in that direction. I think I'm actually gonna reset that blade maybe. Yeah, it looks like that blade is a little bit too low. So it missed some of those. Okay, let's try that again. That's better. And I'm going to get close to the notch, but like I said, a different jig is going to do that notch, so we're going to leave it there for now. Okay, so now we have that nice and flush. That's a rough edge. We're going to finish that later with some sanding paddles or some files. What we want on a finished key set is we want these keys to be perfectly flush with the wood. We don't want to take off any wood at all if we can at all avoid it. Otherwise, we have other issues, gaps between keys, for example, if you take off wood. But yeah, you want no wood taken off. You want it perfectly flush. You want a straight line here. Obviously, you don't want a rough edge like that. You want things generally rounded off. We'll get to that in other videos. But yeah, that's the final goal. Now I'm just going to do this edge, and I think that'll be it for this portion. Okay. Well, maybe I can. There's a little bit of a hang there, so maybe I can take that off. And again, we're not going for perfection on this one. We're just taking the rough major overhang off to minimize the amount of filing or sanding that we do by hand later. By hand, that's how we get it to to really look like a like a nice key, nice finished key. Do watch out for, again, this roller is really handy, except when you come around the edge, because it's tempting to kind of continue to follow the roller when you get to the edge, but then it kind of rounds that off. So be aware that when you're starting here, you're on the roller, but then here the roller no longer has anything to push against, so you're just going to have to kind of manually go straight ahead. Is that pretty clear? Okay. I can do that side a little bit. Okay, that looks pretty good. The rest of this, other than the notch, the rest of this can just be done relatively quickly and painlessly by hand.